Thank you for attending our talk, What Your New Employees Want You to Know. I'm Meredith Forey.
And I'm Jessica Martinez.
We've been working together on researching the experiences of early career librarians since we graduated from library school ourselves in 2017. In 2019, we published an article in Reference Services Review called Overcoming Imposter Syndrome, The Adventures of Two New Instruction Librarians, which was an extension of a presentation we gave at Library Instruction West. We have also given a presentation titled Making the Most of Early Career Librarianship, which was addressed to people just starting out in this field. Today, we are excited to have the opportunity to speak to the leaders in our profession about the experiences, feelings, and needs of your new employees.
Moscow, Idaho is located on the homelands of the Nimiipuu, Nez Perce. We extend gratitude to the indigenous people that call this place home since time immemorial.
Tacoma, Washington is on the traditional lands of the Nisqually, Puyallup, Squaxin Island, and Steilacoom peoples. We acknowledge and respect the traditional caretakers of this land. And there's a link if you want to learn how to speak the native Puyallup language.
So our methods, our research involved an IRB exempt study, which used a sequential mixed methods design. It began with an online survey to collect quantitative and qualitative data from a larger population, and then semi-structured interviews were held with a smaller population to delve deeper. Participants did not need to be employed in the library at the time of taking the survey or being interviewed, but were required to have received their MLIS in the past 5 years. 172 people answered the survey, and we conducted in-depth interviews with 19 participants, randomly selected from the people who noted that they were willing to be interviewed. The coding and analysis of the transcriptions was done by us in Deduce, a qualitative research software. Coding was done to derive themes from the interviewees' responses to questions. Today, we will be focusing on the results of the in-depth interviews, which is where we learned the most about what new employees need from their managers and institutions.
We found when speaking to our interviewees that there were 3 main themes that library leadership could address to positively impact the experience of new librarians. The first of these are feelings of imposter phenomenon, which was first defined in 1978 as an internal experience of intellectual phoniness, with those experiencing it thinking, quote, they are really not bright and have fooled anyone who thinks otherwise. These feelings can come from a variety of different sources. However, interview participants most noted that what they were taught in graduate school and the academic status of librarians on campus were 2 of the biggest triggers. Since an MLIS degree often focuses more heavily on the theory behind librarianship rather than the practical day-to-day operations, many new librarians felt they did not have the skills to be successful in their position. Often when librarians are not faculty, or when other faculty members have PhDs, new librarians didn't know where they fit into the structure of the college or university, or felt like they did not deserve a place at the table. Organizational culture is another area that participants spoke about frequently. Those who had an active and invested mentor within their organization spoke very positively and gratefully of the experience, while those without one felt unmoored in their jobs. Many participants also spoke about the clear and unclear cultural expectations at their workplaces and how important knowing not only how the library functions, but how the library functions within the larger organization is. The shifting learning curve of librarianship is something that most, if not all of us, have experienced, and it heavily impacts new employees. Changes in teaching practice, technology, and systems, and the changing information landscape and role of libraries on campus make it difficult for new employees to get caught up and feel confident in their roles if not given the proper support.
We will now share some quotes taken from our interviews. They have been lightly edited for readability and clarity. The first quote comes from someone who struggled with a librarian's place in the academic structure of the university. In the situation that I face, is this a situation that I face because I am a woman without a PhD under the age of 50 in higher education? Who knows, right? It's also potentially compounded by the fact that on my current campus, librarians are faculty, but they are a participating faculty. It means that we don't get tenure and we are not eligible for positions on the campus that require a tenure track status. At the last institution I was at, librarians were academic staff, so not faculty at all. So I think all of those factors play into just a constant context of feeling like I am underprepared. I'm not as well qualified as other people. I have weaseled my way into a seat at the table, and I'm trying desperately to hold onto it by the tips of my fingernails. Their experience is not unique. In our interviews, 11 participants mentioned academic status and 8 participants mentioned age.
This next quote is about expectations new librarians face. I feel confident in talking about the library and what we can do, but especially service work with the larger university community, those committees and meetings. I've only been here 3 years, so I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm just going to sit here. I don't have anything to contribute. It's important for new librarians to know that absorbing for the first couple of months is fine. You don't need to keep reinventing the wheel. In our interviews, 13 participants mentioned cultural expectations at work, 13 participants mentioned job expectations, and 16 participants mentioned the learning curve of librarianship.
This participant is talking about their current supervisor. He wants us to be a team, and he's happy to listen to me. He asks for my opinion on things. He actively tries to give me opportunities, like that collection development policy, and he fought for me to be able to do that so that I could have the opportunity. And he's told me he wants this to be a building block for my career. And having that kind of support is, I can't overstate how lucky I am. And I like him personally, but I also respect him in terms of he's a superior in the business, and I appreciate that he seems to like me and think that I'm reasonably good at my job. And yeah, I would say that has cut down so much on my imposter syndrome that I might have been feeling. It's just having that stability of someone who's had my back. Mentorship, or its absence, was very important to most of the people we spoke to, with 15 participants mentioning mentorship in their interview.
So now we come to, I'm sure what you're most all here for, recommendations for managers and institution. Here's the main question. What can you do as managers of libraries to help your employees survive, thrive, and contribute best to your organization? Based on the responses from our participants, we have come up with 3 suggestions. These may sound simple and familiar, but the fact remains many libraries do not engage in these practices. The first one is structured or onboarding. New librarians who had a structured onboarding plan that not only introduced them to the library and the college or university, but also introduced the library and college or university to the new librarian, felt like they were more comfortable in their position. Letting existing employees know why you hired this person and letting the new employee know what their expectations are limits space for feelings of imposter phenomenon to grow. Secondly, establish a culture of curiosity in your library. This is something you should be doing before a new employee gets there. By establishing a work culture where people feel free to ask questions and have discussions, new employees will know that if they have questions about what to do or how to do it, they will not feel scared about speaking up. Encourage new employees to have a beginner's mindset. Beginner's mindset is the idea that beginners see all the possibilities open to them and are more easily able to question the status quo than those with habits and knowledge of the expert. New librarians have a unique ability to implement new initiatives without becoming caught up in prescriptions for the way that things have always been done. Embracing fresh perspective and asking lots of questions is a strength new librarians can harness to strengthen and grow libraries as well as their careers.
Finally, make sure new employees have mentors, or that you as a manager have regular check-ins with your employees. As we mentioned, the MLIS degree does a great job at giving students a theoretical basis for their career as a librarian. It then becomes important that their education continues on the job, with mentors supporting the new librarians, attaching that theory to existing practice or new practices that may come up in our ever-shifting learning and technological landscape. These are the steps managers can take to build a supportive environment that sets employees up for long and successful careers. As we try to make librarianship a more diverse and inclusive field, it is essential that we address systemic problems that discourage new librarians. And these are the resources that we used in our literature review for this presentation. Thank you for attending.